It's vlog number 9, and I want to talk about art and what I like to call art breaks. Nagsimula siya actually, I think, nung nagsimula ako mag-work, or simula nung nasa stress ako sa work sa una kong trabaho, or so art breaks are literally taking a break by making art. And I'm not sure exactly how it started, but I believe it started while I was working in advertising, and I started working as a copywriter. So I didn't really make art for my job at that time. And when I would list down ideas, or when I would try to just come up with things, I usually spaced out by making doodles or scribbles on the corners of my notebook, or at the back of the JO. And parang that practice became a part of my work routine. So whenever I'm stressed, whenever I'm overwhelmed with the workload, I would take a few minutes, about 5 to 10 or to 15 minutes, to just drop everything and space out and do something productive. So in a sense, it's kind of like procrastination, but productive. Because instead of just let's say watching a K-drama or watching K-pop videos, I would make art. So in a way, it's productive, but I'm still putting off the things I need to work on. But looking back, I think it became also an outlet for all the stress I'm feeling. So instead of keeping it all in my head, or feeling all the nervousness of meeting deadlines or having my work approved by my bosses, it became a release. So I was really grateful I had art for that. But then fast forward to today. Now that I'm independent and self-employed, I noticed that I stopped doing it, or it became less and less a part of my routine, my daily routine. Like, I barely touch my art materials, or I barely make K-pop fan art, which I like doing before. I'm not sure if it's because art has become one of my main sources of income. So since it's kind of like taking time off of paid work, I guess it became it na-deprioritize siya in a way. And the past week, I am so grateful that I had the time, or the opportunity, to be reminded. God reminded me of how much it means to me. And He used my bias in 17. He used Hong Jisoo, or Joshua Hong. How parang when I painted this, I realized it's been a while since I did anything traditional, because I've been doing digital art for a while, and doing traditional art like this really refreshed me. Na it's just for my fangirl heart's sake. So I didn't have a client to please, I didn't have a deadline to meet, I didn't have a brief to consider. It's just because I got so inspired by Joshua. So I think I'm gonna go back to taking more art breaks, just so I can explore new ways to make art, or just so I can experience the joy of making again. Because I believe that art is also a way for us to encounter God. Because when we create something out of nothing, we are reflecting Him. Remember the first book and the first verse and the first chapter of the Bible, where it says in Genesis 1:1, it says there, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." So as simple as that. In the beginning, God created. So I guess whenever I create, it's also a time of communion with God. I get to spend time with Him because I get to reflect Him. Diba? Like father, like daughter, and like creator, like creature. Or like parang Imago Dei. I get to bear His image, or I get to reflect His creativity every time I create. So I just wanted to talk about that briefly. Brief na ba yung mga 5 minutes or 6 minutes? Anyway, salamat sa panonood, and I hope this prompts you also to think about art and what its purpose is for you. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's for meditation. Maybe it's for expression, or maybe it's also your career, or how you make a living. But for me, it's really spending time with my maker. Ayun, salamat sa panonood ng mini reflection video na to.